Enter the third day as they continue to give their views at the Bomas of Kenya. Now, the Law Society of Kenya, led by the President Eric Theory and the Elections Observation Group, the Institute of Public Accountants of Kenya, and other teams are presenting today. Let's cross over live and listen in.
B, to add the words, and conducting a post-election audit of finance systems, processes and outcomes. What I wanted to invite you to is to look at Article 88H. We had looked at it with the Law Society of Kenya, and the IBC appeared before us, and they were basically saying under Article 88H, that is on the facilitation. IBC is required to ensure facilitation of the observation that they're doing, and they have facilitated observers from outside, externally, monitoring that they have done, the external monitors. But when it comes to evaluation, they're doing it themselves. And Honorable Pio and I think, said, to evaluate yourself, really, that's self-appraisal. It's not meeting the standard. We want your input on that. And that taken with your proposal to amend article, the previous article I've referred to, 86D. Can you look at probably transferring that to enriching that provision as a recommendation so that we build public confidence in our election processes, systems, and this is for posterity as well, looking at the next election, so that we open up. There should be no fear of opening servers or systems. We look at everything so that in the next election we have the confidence of every Kenyan. Thank you.
Well, I propose that you listen to the comments by the committee members, and you can be taking notes, at the end of which you can respond. But please, let's also be brief, because we have kept CMD waiting for quite a long time.
And there are other stakeholders in the waiting room.
Yeah.
So, Niazi, please.
Yeah. So, Hassan Omar.
Okay.
Niazi.
Thank you, Chair. Mine is a short one, yeah? As a professional body on accounting and accountants in Kenya, I would like to hear your input or views on the current debt status that we face as a nation, and any available recommendation that can help our nation to get out of this, of the debts that we have currently. Thank you.
I also had one or two comments. You see, elections is two competing sets of visions of how to govern the country. And our vision is that in the short term, there might be some challenges that we are seeing, but subsidies might not be sustainable in the long term. So what we have done is rightfully what Eugene has said. We have decided to subsidize production rather than subsidize consumption. And therefore we'll continue to support farmers. We'll continue to support manufacturers. I think there's a whole regime about which taxes were lowered to ensure that local manufacturing was made slightly more affordable. But then I was persuaded on that issue of the depreciation of the Kenya shilling, because it has a net factor. We're a country that imports $2 billion annually in terms of food. Yet we can grow maize, we can grow maharagwe everywhere. Truth is, I think the interbank restrictions have been lifted to a large extent. The dollar, there's no imposition about the dollar rate by the CBK on a day-to-day basis that we used to do quite regularly in the past. Number two, we have done the G2G. You're aware of the fuel G2G. It has alleviated about $500 to $600 million of demand on a monthly basis on the dollar. And there's a push even to some time to enter into African trade using our own currencies. So I think what I needed to appreciate a little better from you is, in the interim, this we are building a manufacturing an export-based economy, the special economic zone, where I think there's already been some work in the Dongo Kundu, and investors from the Afro-Exim Bank are going to roll out a $1 billion of on-site infrastructure development. The JICA is building the Bath and the Dongo Kundu too. That's all done in terms of the export-based economy that we want to build. But in the interim, what else can be done? Because these are long-term measures. Some of these were matters or issues that are